driving, and they asked me if I wanted to go to New York City. I said, yeah, send me, let's do it. Send me home. So no one ever wants to go to New York. I was all about it. They sent me over, and I remember just coming from the New Jersey into New York. It was nighttime. I got there the night before, and I remember crossing over. And if I'm not mistaken, I had to enter on 178th Street uptown, and I had to make a right turn, and that was when it just all started. Right there, that right turn, I was like, wow, this is what it's about right here. So I go to make the right turn, and I mean the streets at New York City is a city that doesn't sleep. So the streets is filled, cars, everything. I had the green light. I needed to make that turn, but I didn't have enough room to make the turn. But I also know that if I don't take my opportunity now, I could be sitting at this light forever because nothing's going to change. People are going to pull up to those lights again and again and again. So I'm never going to have the room. I just need to make it happen. So I bring my truck out, to the middle of the intersection like I'm supposed to. I start to make the right turn. It's a bus right there. Like the bus is right in the way. This dude, thankfully, nice bus driver, he slides over a little bit to the right because he's used to it. He knows what's going on. Before I even look at him, he's already sliding to the right for me. So he slid to the right. I just enough for me to pull my nose around. I look back at my back mirror, and it's a lady jumping out in the middle of the street while my damn rear end is coming around the corner. So now I'm stopped. I stopped because, like, I don't know. I didn't want anything. There didn't want no danger, it just was not a good situation. I can't really explain it, but I just know the lady walks right out to the middle of the street, and so I stop. She walks by the end of my truck, like walks around it. I don't know what she planned on doing, walking into my damn truck, because I was already out there. She was nowhere close to be whatever. Anyway, she walks around the end of my truck, and I'm thinking, damn, man. But that's New York, because I'll do the same thing. I'm in New York. We don't wait for traffic. We walk around traffic, or we walk in front of it. That's just what we do. And that jaywalking don't exist in New York. So another thing is, once she passed, I realized, man, I got to clear this caravan that's sitting right there on the corner too. So long story short, I just eased my way through and made it through that turn. But it was the first turn into New York City, and it was like, damn, it's on. So now I'm on Broadway. You know what I mean? I'm piping. I'm going downtown. Now, I wasn't supposed to be there until the next morning, but I'm thinking I want to see where it is I got to go first, just to, map it out, see what I got in store for me. Now, I already know where I'm supposed to be because I know Manhattan. So, 59th, Central Park West, Columbus Circle. So I know where I'm supposed to be at, but I know it as a civilian. I don't know it as a truck driver, so I want to go see what the parking signs is looking like, what parking might be looking like at what certain time in the morning. Just get a vision of me in the truck and what it's going to be like. So I pipe all the way down Broadway. I make that left on 58th, make another left, come up on 59th, and I see where I'm supposed to be. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I need to get here maybe an hour early. The drop was supposed to be 6 a.m. So I got there at 5, which to me was, it was good because I'm like, 5 a.m. is good timing because that's when the city is just waking up again. And I might be able to slide my truck in here where it says no parking. But I'll be right across the street from the skyscraper, from the construction site where they building. I mean, the most that can happen, police ask me to move and I'll just be looping the block. So, sure enough, next morning come, I go find parking in Yonkers. I come back from Yonkers to New York City and into Manhattan, 5 o'clock in the morning on the dot. I'm there, right? Like I said, not too many cars there. I pull up, and I'm parked, obviously, no parking zone, but it's the only place. There's no parking in New York City, so you need to do what you got to do. So I'm sitting there. Come 6 o'clock, nobody's. I see the work site waking up, but nobody's come over to me and said anything yet, and I don't see anybody that looks even like a contact that I'm gonna go over and speak to. So 7 o'clock comes, I start seeing all the orange suits. I'm like, okay, here go the laborers. I see them moving things around, shuffling things around. I'm like, these are guys that's gonna help me get in here, or that's gonna have to shut down this traffic, because they're going to have to shut down 59th Street, the entire 59th Street, for me to get this back in there. And sure enough, it was funny because they walk, it's 7 of them. They all walk over to me at the same time. It was like, and the first thing one of them said to me was, "Can you drive good?" I looked at him. I was like, "I'd like to think that I can." And he said, "Well, I hope so." And, their mouths is a little ruthless, so, because he was like, because the mother from yesterday took like 10 hours to get his ass back in there. I said, hell, man, look, I don't plan on taking 2 hours to get back in there, but I'm going to do my best, all right? He said, all right, no problem, man. It was cool. That's just how it is, just how they talk. So they shut down 59th Street. Now, he warns me. He's like, look, I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't got but like 2 inches on your mirrors. You can get that back in there, but you need to be straight. And then, once you get straight, you're going to have to offset to the left to get where you need to get once you're in there. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I get my trailer in there. Sure enough, like you said, like the back of the trailer fit, but where the gates was, my mirrors was, both my mirrors was like that on the gates. And then I had to turn my back end in to get up under the crane. Meanwhile, you can't really see it in the film, but there's these big cement pillars there that you can't, when you turn the back of your truck, for these people that's not in trucking, when you turn your trailer, you got to turn the front of your truck. If there's no room to turn the front of your truck, you can't maneuver your trailer. So there's these 2 big pillars that's on the side of my truck that, man, listen. But I got it in there. Sure enough, I got it in there about 45 minutes it took me. The guy walks up to me and he's like, yo, man, listen, you did a good job. And then he went back to talking about the guy that took like 2 hours to get in. Matter of fact, he said, listen, you did a good job. You did better than 90% of the dudes that come here, because, it's guys that take hours to get up in there. I'm like, thanks, man. Here I am being hard on myself because it took me 45 minutes to back this truck in there. And he was like, yo, man, you did all right. So, nonetheless, I backed it in there. And I must have did something right, because these dudes even offer me lunch, and they say, hey, look, we're going off to lunch. You want to join us? We got you. We're going to pay for you. Cool. So they paid for my lunch. You know what I mean? Came back to the truck, waited for them to finish unloading, and then I set out, and this is the footage that you're going to see of me making my way through New York City. I hope y'all like it. Be cool, stay fresh, like, subscribe, peace, Choicemas, 1.
Imagine that.